I never expected a single weekend to unravel 3 years of love, trust, and plans we built together, but sometimes the universe rips away the curtain all at once instead of gradually. If you think you've heard shocking relationship stories before, what happened to me goes beyond anything I imagined, because when my girlfriend left for what she called a simple, girls' weekend, she didn't just come back acting different, she came back wearing someone else's ring, and not one she bought herself, not one bought as a joke. This wasn't a ring from a souvenir shop. This was a ring a man gives a woman when he wants her to remember him long after she leaves. Nothing prepares you for that moment, when the person you trusted most walks into the house wearing another man's symbol on her hand. Before I dive into everything, let me start by saying that I wasn't a paranoid boyfriend. I wasn't insecure. I wasn't the type to snoop through her phone or question her every move. If anything, I trusted her too much. I believed in giving her freedom, letting her have her own friendships, her own life, her own space. A good relationship doesn't require policing, and I never wanted to be that guy. I loved Emma, not just casually or conveniently, I loved her deeply. The kind of love where you imagine your future, your home, your kids, your life merging together naturally. For nearly 3 years, I thought we were building exactly that. I thought we were solid, stable, content. She used to call me her safe place, and I genuinely believed we were on the same page. Everything started on a Thursday evening like any other. She got home from work, dropped her bag on the couch, and told me with excitement bubbling in her voice that her college friends were planning a last-minute weekend getaway in a cabin. She said they were all stressed from work and relationships and just wanted to reconnect. I didn't sense anything unusual. She rarely took trips with friends, and honestly, I encouraged her. Everyone needs time away occasionally. She assured me it was just the girls, just a relaxing few days, nothing wild. She said they wanted to unplug, talk, drink wine, maybe hike, maybe go into town for brunch. She framed it like a wholesome retreat. I told her to go and enjoy it. When she packed on Friday morning, I noticed she wasn't taking much, just a backpack and a small duffel. Normally for a 2-day trip she'd pack like she was moving across the country, curling iron, outfits she wouldn't wear, skincare products that filled half the bag, but this time she packed like she wanted to travel light. When I teased her about finally overcoming her overpacking habit, she laughed and said she didn't want to overcrowd the shared Airbnb. It was nothing major, just a small detail, but looking back, small details are sometimes warnings we ignore. She kissed me goodbye around 9 in the morning. She said she'd call me when she arrived. I watched her drive away smiling, music blasting through the open windows. That version of her felt familiar and warm, the version I had known for so long. I didn't realize that the woman who would return Sunday evening would feel like a stranger wearing her face. She kept her promise and texted me around 1 o'clock, saying they arrived safely. She sent a picture of the cabin, rustic wood, tall pines, a fire pit outside, string lights hanging around the porch, a place that looked peaceful and private. She also sent a picture of the view, trees, mountains, a lake in the distance. Everything looked normal and harmless. She said they were unpacking and then heading into town for lunch. For the rest of the day, she texted me casually. Everything seemed right. She joked about her friends being chaotic, complained about how cold the cabin was, and sent a photo of them raising glasses at dinner. Nothing in her tone sounded off. Saturday morning was when things changed. My good morning message went unanswered for hours. She normally responded within minutes, even when busy. Around noon she finally texted saying they went hiking early and she didn't have reception. I didn't push. I told her to stay safe, drink water, enjoy the views. For the rest of the afternoon, she was quieter than usual, but I kept reminding myself that she didn't know me. Constant communication. She was on a trip with her friends, and I didn't want to seem clingy or possessive. That night she told me she was tired and going to sleep early. Her message felt rushed, like she sent it because she had to, not because she wanted to. Again, I pushed the thought away. Sometimes your brain tries to warn you, but you convince yourself you're imagining things. Sunday morning she sent a cheerful message about their big breakfast spread. Then she said they were going kayaking later, which was the first I heard about kayaking. She ended the message with "I love you," and it made me feel better, but the feeling didn't last long. She stopped responding after noon. I assumed it was another no reception situation. When she arrived home Sunday night at 10:30, 2.5 hours later than she promised, she looked exhausted, borderline frazzled. Her hair was messy, her eyes red like she'd been crying at some point but tried to hide it. She hugged me, but the hug felt stiff and foreign, not the warm, familiar hold I was used to. Then I smelled it. She smelled like pine and lake water, sure, but also like cologne. Not faint, accidental cologne, a rich, musky, lingering scent that had no business being on her skin. It wasn't mine. I don't wear anything like that. When I pointed it out jokingly, she brushed it off and said maybe one of her friends hugged her or something spilled on her clothes. And then the moment that flipped my stomach upside down, she took off her jacket, and a ring glinted on her right hand, a sleek, elegant, clearly expensive ring. A ring she had never owned. A ring she hadn't mentioned. A ring that didn't look like something a bunch of women jokingly buy on a whim. My chest tightened. My mind stopped processing anything except that ring. I asked where it came from, and instantly her entire demeanor changed. Her eyes darted away. Her voice cracked slightly. She said it was a joke gift from the girls. I didn't believe her, not for a second. Her story kept shifting. First it was a joke, then it was a souvenir, then she bought it herself, then one of her friends bought it. None of it was consistent. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I just repeated the question calmly. Eventually she snapped, called me paranoid, accused me of ruining the night, said I was being controlling. It was a reaction that made no sense, unless she was hiding something enormous. She stormed into the bathroom to take a shower. I sat on the couch, staring at the floor, replaying every detail of the past 3 days. When she came out, her face was softer, her eyes swollen like she'd been crying. She sat down next to me and said she needed to tell me something. Her voice shook. She said the trip wasn't exactly how she described. One of her friends invited her boyfriend and his coworker. She insisted she didn't know they'd be coming beforehand because she knew I wouldn't be comfortable with it. She said she didn't want to deal with drama. Then she said only a few things happened. Just talking. Just bonding. She said she felt emotionally disconnected from me lately and she didn't want to hurt me. But the attention from the guy, Jason, felt comforting. I felt like my soul left my body. She told me they talked alone by the lake. She said he made her feel seen. She said he made her laugh in a way she hadn't laughed in a while. And then she said the sentence that shattered me more than anything else: I didn't mean for it to happen. I asked what happened. Silence. Then she said she didn't know if what she did counted as cheating. She didn't know. She couldn't define it. She couldn't deny it. She couldn't admit it. She said the ring was something he bought as a stupid, playful gesture. She claimed she didn't think it meant anything. She begged me not to take it the wrong way. I told her everything was over. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I simply said I couldn't be with someone who disrespected and lied to me. She cried harder, said she regretted it, said she wanted to fix things. She took the ring off and threw it across the room. She said she didn't mean anything by it, but the damage was already done. She moved out 2 days later. I didn't fight it. I didn't stop her. Watching her take her clothes, her shoes, her books, her perfume, each item was like removing a piece of the life we built. The apartment felt like a graveyard when she left. I spent the next week replaying every memory. I wondered what I'd missed. I questioned myself, my worth, my judgment. I wondered if she had ever truly loved me the way I loved her. I wondered how someone could betray another so casually. Like our relationship was a coat she could shrug off whenever she felt bored or lonely. A week later I got a message from one of her friends, not one she was super close to, but one who had always been kind to me. She apologized for reaching out but said she couldn't stay silent knowing Emma only told me fragments. She said the full truth was worse, much worse. They didn't stay in a secluded cabin, they stayed in a lakeside resort with fancy rooms and hot tubs. The no-reception hike was actually a kayaking trip between Emma and the guy alone. The group had argued because Emma was getting way too close to him. And yes, they slept together, not once, but twice. She told her friends she felt alive with him, that he was exciting, that she felt like she'd missed out by settling down young. The friend told me Emma bragged about the attention and talked about exploring her options. She said Emma wore the ring proudly the night it was bought, telling everyone it was symbolic. She said Emma claimed she wasn't sure she wanted to return home to me, but something changed on Sunday. She got into a fight with Jason when he told her he wasn't interested in anything serious. He just wanted fun. She cried. He backed off, and she suddenly panicked about losing me. That's why she came home earlier than planned. She was emotionally wrecked, torn between fantasy and reality, but she chose to come back because she thought I'd forgive anything. That conversation with her friend crushed any remaining softness in my heart. It made everything clear. It confirmed that breaking up was necessary. She didn't just betray me. She discarded me the moment something shiny and new distracted her. Weeks went by. I focused on work. I leaned on friends. I started healing slowly. But healing isn't linear. Some days I felt okay. Some days I stared at the wall for hours wondering how someone could say, "I love you," while lying beside someone else. It made me question my ability to trust again. Then, months later, Emma messaged me again. A long apology. Paragraphs that spilled regret and longing. She said Jason ghosted her. She said she felt used. She said she wanted to undo everything. She said losing me was her biggest mistake. She said she didn't know who she was when she made those choices. But the truth is, people reveal exactly who they are when they think no one is watching. And during that weekend, Emma was the realest she'd ever been. I didn't respond to her message. I didn't need to. My silence was the closure she had already earned. And that is how my girlfriend left for a girls' weekend, and came back with a ring bought by another man, a ring that exposed every lie she tried to bury. every truth she tried to hide, and every part of our relationship she destroyed long before she walked through the front door.